Right now at 5, Jasper County residents vote to recall a Carthage council member.
And we got another chilly and somewhat foggy start to the day. A pretty decent one lined up for us this afternoon. A look at that forecast, get you out the doors coming up.
Plus, Planned Parenthood plans to sue the state of Missouri for full abortion access.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5 a.m. I'm Elise Snowy.
And I'm Chris Warner. It is now Thursday, November the 7th. Trucking right along.
Yes, we are.
Getting into deeper into fall and some very nice fall-like weather for us the last couple of days.
Absolutely.
It's going to continue. In fact, we may be a little cooler today than what we were yesterday, if you can believe that. And yeah, otherwise not bad. Breezy too.
No, yeah.
That really sums up the entire
air out there right now.
That really sums up the entire forecast for you at this point. But we do have some rain chances. We'll talk about those a little later. But first, let's get you out the door with a live look from our camera downtown Pittsburgh. And as you can see, we're looking good. You can see some clouds. We do have some low clouds out there, and we do have some patchy fog this morning as well. MoDOT camera 20th and range line in Joplin looking good this morning. Here's a look at the fog tracker. Not quite as dense yet as what we saw yesterday, but you can see that Pittsburgh has some reduced visibilities down to just over 7 miles. So again, nothing significant, but we do have some fog, and we could see some more patchy fog as we head through the morning hours. So do keep that in mind. Future track into this afternoon, we'll have mostly clear to partly cloudy skies, and our northeast winds are going to start gusting upwards of about 20-25 miles an hour. And then late this evening and overnight, clouds will begin to increase ahead of our rain chances for our Friday. 45 in Joplin right now, 44 in Pittsburgh, so pretty close to normal, which it's how it's been the last couple of days. Temperatures around the region, again, they're chilly, but seasonably so. We've got low, mid, and upper 40s, but either way you paint it right now, at least everybody into the 40s as we start this Thursday morning. Kids getting on the bus today, about 44. Again, some patchy fog out there. Northeast winds 5 to 10. Winds increasing later this morning into the afternoon. Again, those gusts 20-25 miles an hour. About 61 when the bus brings the kids home. So again, today we're looking at highs topping out about 61 on average. So some of you, again, like yesterday, may not make it out of the upper 50s. And we'll have that mix of clouds and sun as we go through the afternoon and evening. Eventually, again, clouds thickening up overnight. We have our rain chances tomorrow. Some slight ones in the morning, better ones by the afternoon. Details on that in the full forecast here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, authorities are investigating an early morning house fire in Jasper County. The call came in just before 3:45 yesterday morning in the 500 block of County Lane 263. Now, a home was engulfed when they arrived, and authorities say the fire began in the living room or the kitchen area. A woman who lived there was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Well, some communities in our area received an unexpected side effect of all the rain the last few days, and that's sinkholes. Now, 2 have formed since Sunday, one in Duquesne and the other in Joplin. The Duquesne sinkhole appeared on the western edge of the city. The Joplin sinkhole appeared at a residence near Parr Hill, and that one measured 10 to 15 feet across and about 6 feet deep. Authorities say neither sinkhole poses a threat to any structures. And to be the first to see breaking news, weather, and sports, you can download the KOAM News app. It's available free of charge in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Just search for the KOAM News app. The Sooner State claims historic voter turnout this year. In a statement from the Oklahoma Secretary of State Election Board, the unofficial numbers show more Oklahomans cast their vote for president than in any previous election. In-person early voting in the state set a new record with more than 120,000. The state also claimed the largest number of registered voters in the state heading into this election since tracking began in 2000. Planned Parenthood says it plans to sue the state of Missouri for full abortion access. Missouri voters passed Amendment 3 Tuesday night, which provides a state constitutional right to reproductive freedom. However, there are still legal limits to abortions in the state. Planned Parenthood's lawsuit claims the restrictions around abortions that still exist, including requirements put upon healthcare providers of abortions, are unconstitutional. Healthcare providers are seeking to block a number of state laws that are now in conflict with the Missouri Constitution. Amendment 3 goes into effect in early December. Well, the Carthage City Council now has another vacancy to fill in the wake of Tuesday's public vote to recall Councilmember Tiffany Kosey. The vote came after a petition to remove her gained enough votes this past summer, which led to the question being added to the November 5th ballot. KOAM's Melissa Alexis spoke to some community members for their reaction.
Anytime you're elected to any position, I think conduct's very important.
Tiffany Kosey will no longer be a member of the Carthage City Council as of November 5th. Dolores Glendening is a resident who says she hopes Kosey's removal brings peace to the Carthage community.
Let's always hope they do what the citizens want, and yes, I do want peace.
Things should be done, at the pleasure of the voter and the people,
Jerry Neal, another community member, believes this will resolve some of the tension in the Carthage City Council and lead to a less tumultuous dynamic.
Turmoil is never good. It's, try to get along with everyone as much as possible. It's not easy to do, but, I just hope that that will all reach fruition and everybody will be back and enjoying each other again.
Kosey was recalled with 730 people voting yes to the recall and only 457 people voting no. A crowd at the courthouse cheered Tuesday night as Jasper County Clerk Charlie Davis announced Kosey will be recalled, with 61.4% of voters in support of the decision. Glendening is optimistic the person who replaces Councilmember Kosey will be less controversial, and she believes more can be accomplished through a more harmonious city council.
That's what we need to do, is pick somebody that knows about the community and that's lived here a while and knows what's going on better than I do, but so that we can all get along, because you can accomplish a lot more.
Reporting in Carthage, Melissa Alexis, KOAM News.
Now, Carthage City Council members say they will move forward to fill her position along with the other vacant seats in the City Council. We've reached out to Kosey for comment, but have yet not received a response. And that's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes. Coming up on the KOAM Morning News. The Gorillas and Lions square off in their final game of the 2024 soccer season. We'll have those details. Plus, Canada orders TikTok's Canadian business to be dissolved off the app, but won't block access to the app. And we have a nice and partly cloudy day today. We'll have what to expect with Chris Warner in the Skywatch Weather Center. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back.
Pittsburgh State and Missouri Southern Soccer waited all year before seeing each other. Yesterday afternoon, the regular season finale takes place between the Lions and Gorillas. Final game of the regular season for both Missouri Southern and Pittsburgh State taking place on the Gorilla soccer pitch. We start in the 11th minute. No score as of yet. And then we get a loose ball, and Clarissa Davis steps into one from way outside the box. That's easily grabbed by the Gorilla goalkeeper, Jocelyn Kramer. Still in the first half, 20th minute. Carrie Cunningham on a breakaway for PSU. Some late pressure from Elizabeth Almaraz. And that shot gets gobbled up by Bella Smith for the Lions. 36th minute now. Great defense by Aviana Gonzalez to win the ball away to her teammate Daly Hall. She sends a beautiful cross back to Gonzalez. That's headed back in for a goal to break the scoreless tie. The Gorillas do an excellent job controlling the tempo the rest of the way through. They win 1-0 and finish their inaugural season with an 8-8-2 record. Switching gears to pro football, one of the all-time greats to ever play for the Missouri Southern Lions announces his retirement from the NFL. Former Missouri Southern Lion Brandon Williams is retiring as a member of the Baltimore Ravens. The team announced that this week. Williams was a 10-year NFL veteran. He spent 9 of those seasons in Baltimore, then won a Super Bowl as a member of the Chiefs in the 2022-2023 season. He played college football at MSSU from 2008 to 2012. Williams was a 2-time first-team All-MIAA performer. His senior year, he was named MIAA Defensive Player of the Year and holds the Missouri Southern program record for career sacks with 27. Line alum was selected by the Ravens in the 3rd round of the 2013 NFL Draft. That's the highest draft slot for any player in MSSU program history. He was a 1-time Pro Bowler. That was in 2018 with Baltimore, and finishes his professional career with 325 tackles, 7 sacks, and 1 touchdown. Switching gears to Oklahoma High School softball, Miami senior Sydney Forrester is named to the All-State team by the Oklahoma Secondary School Activities Association. War Dog middle infielder is committed to continue her softball career at the University of Missouri and help lead the War Dogs to 3 consecutive regional championships. Miami's head coach Lauren Strack also receives All-State honors from the OSSAA. Still to come, we're going to see why a new study is suggesting daytime sleepiness is linked with a higher risk of dementia. And we got another check of that forecast, those rain chances, when the KOAM Morning News returns. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. Just turning 5:16 on this Thursday morning in the 4 states fog tracker. Not nearly as much dense fog as we saw yesterday, but you can see some reduced visibilities out there. The most reduced right now is in Pittsburgh, but that's still at 7 miles. But just keep in mind, we are expecting, or we could at least see, patchy fog kind of thicken up in spots. So slow down. Low beams, not your high beams. You folks at home, you know the drill. Since we haven't run any stories about fog-related crashes today, that makes me feel better that you're listening and you're doing things safely when you're driving in some of that dense fog. All right, future track for today, we're looking at mostly clear to partly cloudy skies. Northeast winds will be gusting upwards of 20 to 25 miles an hour. And our temperatures today a little cooler than where we were yesterday. Then we go overnight, and like we mentioned yesterday, a few stray showers, maybe a rumble of thunder. Best chances at least overnight into early tomorrow morning will still be that Chanute, Fredonia, Yates Center zone in the northwestern portions of our viewing area, but a sprinkle or two will be possible outside of that. And then the good rain chances, the better rain chances, start rolling in late morning into the afternoon. So still showing up the same way as it did yesterday. See, the rain itself, the rain and storms are lifting from south to north, but the boundary they're associated with is gradually going to be pushed eastward through the day on Friday. So here we are at 3 o'clock. Showers, thunderstorms now stretching from Fort Scott, Pittsburgh, Joplin, Anderson down to Bentonville in this northwest to southeast oriented line. We'll still have northeast winds. Now ahead of it, east winds on Friday will be gusting. Back behind this boundary, we'll get slightly northeasterly winds, and temperatures still seasonable. Scattered showers and storms continuing to Friday evening. We get some breaks here and there as we go late evening Friday, but then another round of showers and thunderstorms initially into southeast Kansas. So by 10 tomorrow night, we're looking at Yates Center, Chanute, Parsons, just outside of Pittsburgh, Fredonia, Coffeyville. We'll have additional rounds of storms, and we'll continue to see these through the overnight hours into our early Saturday morning. So scattered showers, thunderstorms overnight. And then as we had late morning, early afternoon Saturday, skies expected to clear. And we're looking at a pretty decent day for us on our Saturday out there. In fact, maybe even a little warmer. And the best news I've got this morning, we're still not expecting any severe weather. In fact, even that low severe threat well to our south is now gone for Saturday and has been condensed for tomorrow. So we're looking pretty good, just some rain and storms and no severe weather. 45 in Joplin right now. We do have some clouds out there. Northeast breeze at about 7. Temperatures across the area into the 40s just about everywhere. We've got low, mid, upper 40s, so of course cooler to the north and warmer to the south. As we get our morning underway, some patchy fog possible through about 9 o'clock, and then it'll begin to burn off, starting around the mid-40s out there by 8, mid-50s by 11 o'clock today, and that is ahead of our highs going about 61 on average. So that's the other thing. Some of you may be a couple degrees warmer. Some of you may be a few degrees cooler, maybe not even making it out of the upper 50s again today. Of course, breezy and a mix of clouds and sun. Into the evening and overnight hours, clouds begin to thicken up as we go late evening overnight. Mostly cloudy skies, still breezy. Winds out of the northeast, still gusting 20, 25, mid 40s. Out there, some low 40s for our lows. Tomorrow, low to mid 60s, and then we'll have those thunderstorm chances increasing late Friday into Saturday. Mid 60s heading into the weekend. We get that brief warm up ahead of another cold front next Wednesday. That'll bring us more thunderstorm chances, and it'll put our temperatures back to normal briefly before we see low 70s by next Saturday. Let's check your forecast. We'll be back with Health Watch right after this.
Topping Health Watch this morning. Well, a new government study reveals cases of diabetes are on the rise nationwide. CDC data found nearly 1 in 6 adults has diabetes. And that's 16% of the population, with the majority of them being type 2 diabetes. The report also showed that men are more prone to the blood sugar disease than women. It also found about 4.5% of adult Americans aren't even aware they have the disease. Data also shows the risk of developing type 2 diabetes is strongly linked to obesity and increasing age. The new data was collected from mid-2021 through mid-2023 and appears in the NCHS data brief. Well, a lack of vitamin D may increase the risk of autoimmune diseases. According to new research that built on a 2001 Finnish study that determined children who received vitamin D early in life had up to a 5-fold lower risk of developing type 1 diabetes later on. Now, researchers studied mice that were genetically modified to be unable to produce vitamin D. They recognized the deficiency impacted the mice's thymus and immune systems. Now, the thymus functions similarly in both humans and mice, making the data highly relevant to human health. Researchers say an aging thymus can lead to a leaky immune system, which results in a higher risk of developing autoimmune diseases. The study was published in the journal Science Advances. Well, a new study links daytime sleepiness in older people with a higher risk of developing dementia. In a study of more than 440 people with an average age of 76, those who felt sleepy were more likely to experience cognitive decline. According to the study published in the journal Neurology, roughly 36% of people with excessive daytime sleepiness developed motoric cognitive risk syndrome, or MCR. Now, that's a condition that is often marked by slow walking speed and complaints of memory problems. Those in the study who weren't tired as often only had a 7% chance. Now, the researchers say the risk of developing dementia more than doubles with MCR. Medical experts say elderly people who are having significant daytime sleepiness are advised to raise the issue with their doctors. Well, a Nevada boy with a rare condition that caused him to be unable to close his eyes has a new lease on life. The 7-year-old recently had a life-changing surgery on his eyes to help him see. Victoria Saha spoke with the doctor and has the report.
We were with Carter in San Diego right before his big surgery.
1, 2, 3.
I will be able to blink and my eyes won't water all the time.
That surgery was in the hands of Dr. Bobby Korn at UC San Diego.
Was this the first for you?
Absolutely. I mean, I've done hundreds of skin grafts.
But none like Carter's.
We really had no idea what to expect in a case like this.
Carter has lamellar ichthyosis, which means his skin doesn't shed properly. But this makes the skin around his eyes so tight and dry, it was impossible to close, which caused another condition called ectropion.
These are cases that we typically see 1 or 2 in our entire career, in our lifetime.
A case so rare, Dr. Korn had to reach back into his textbooks and soon realized they could take skin from another part of Carter's body and place it on his eyelids.
I did a lot of research for that entire month, and then being in a big academic medical center, we have colleagues in all these different areas and subspecialties. We need to plan this case together with this really special child.
A special child who needed this surgery to work. But Dr. Korn also went to another place to learn more about Carter.
I've been watching all the stuff on Fox News and sort of keeping an eye on everything, and it's just so exciting seeing all the stuff that you've been doing. So great work on all that.
But it was the community's doing by helping pay for Carter's medical bills.
Without the efforts you did to really help him bring awareness and to raise funds, we would have never met, right? And it wouldn't be possible. So you are as much a part of this operation and the success as we are.
And that success came after a 3-hour surgery.
I'll tell you, after we got the graft and placed him on the eyelid, everyone in the room was giving each other high fives.
High fives for this little boy whose eyes are getting better every day.
I couldn't see on the first day, but on the second day, I could.
Carter will most likely need another skin graft surgery in 10 years, but it all depends on how his skin grows. As for his rare skin condition, for now, there is no cure. And that's a look at some of today's top health stories. You're watching the KOAM Morning News.
And we've got ourselves some patchy fog here and there. Outside of that, a chilly start. We're having another look at your forecast when we come back.
Right now at 5:30, Pittsburgh's Memorial Auditorium hosts a celebration of grant recipients.
It's a bit chilly out there, seasonably so though for us. We'll have a look at that forecast, get you out the door coming up.
Plus, over 100 museum professionals make their way to Fort Scott for a museum conference.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5:30. I'm Elise Snowy.
I'm Chris Warner. It's Thursday, November the 7th now here in the 4 states. And so, there's a number of TV shows that have done musical episodes. I feel that we should do a musical version of the KOAM Morning News.
I feel like if people woke up in the morning and turned on their TV and saw us singing, they would go right back to bed, and I wouldn't blame you at all.
They'll have to call into work. It might make you sick. You'd be like, I'm sorry, I can't make it in. I just saw the most awful thing ever. Just a thought, though. And just a thought, grab a jacket, okay? Yes. You're going to want one. It's going to be another chilly one. In fact, it's not going to be that warm into the afternoon either, so keep it handy. Quick look outside our camera downtown Pittsburgh. Now, I do not know what exactly they're doing. I can't tell from this perspective, but as you can see, there is at least some kind of work going on downtown Pittsburgh. Who just pulled up? A tow truck just pulled up, and I've seen a bucket truck out here as well. So if you're traveling on Broadway and you're heading south, this is 3rd Street, 4th Street's back over here. They're obviously doing some work, so just, be cautious, move over, give them some room to do whatever it is they're doing this morning. MoDOT camera, 20th and Range Line. The traffic, what is going on this morning? The traffic signal at 20th Street is now flashing red, so keep that in your pocket if you're traveling in Joplin around 20th and Range Line, because you can see that it's flashing out there. I don't know what's going on this morning. The weather's not bad. Take a look at the fog tracker. We do have some reduced visibilities around the Pittsburgh area, but nothing as significant as what we saw yesterday. And as we take a look at the future track, it's going to be a really nice day. So I have no idea what's going on out there this morning, but we do have that northeast wind. It's going to be gusting upwards of 20 to 25 miles an hour, and we'll have mostly clear to partly cloudy skies before clouds really start to thicken up late this evening and overnight ahead of our incoming rain chances Friday. We are sitting at 45 in Joplin, 44 in Pittsburgh right now, and around the region, temperatures chilly, but again, right about where they should be. We've got low, mid, upper 40s, so of course from north to south it gets warmer the further south you go. Kids get on the bus. Patchy fog is still a possibility, so we're going to throw that up there. About 44, northeast winds 5 to 10. Winds stay out of the northeast, but again they start picking up, gusts 20, maybe 25. Partly cloudy, about 61 when the bus comes home. So here's the deal, we're talking the average high today is going to be about 61. Some of you may be a couple of degrees above that. Some of you may not make it out of the upper 50s again today. Partly cloudy through the early evening, and again clouds increasing ahead of our rain chances Friday. We're going to talk about those rain chances and how the rest of the weekend and the next work week is shaping up here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, thanks, Chris. We'll see you soon. Well, if you need to get a new driver's license in Missouri, you'll have to wait until next week. The Missouri Department of Revenue is rolling out a new driver's license system across the state. Now, they're installing new equipment, and it'll eventually allow you to renew your license online. But to get those systems in place, they have to pause driver license services. Now, some license offices will be open tomorrow for motor vehicle services only, but expect all offices to be closed on Friday and Monday for Veterans Day. They expect the new system to be up and running by Tuesday. Dozens of businesses and colleges showed up at the McDonald County High School yesterday for a career fair. The event offered students career insights into such fields as retail and manufacturing to healthcare and government, just to name a few. The goal was to give the students an opportunity to network with local business leaders and to provide a look at some possible future career opportunities.
I actually really like this, not only because of the freebies that I get every year, but I get sort of new intel on each field and it sort of sparks new interest for me.
Students were able to use a fun bingo-style card to collect career information, making the event both educational and interactive. Last night, donors and friends gathered at the Pittsburgh Memorial Auditorium as the Community Foundation of Southeast Kansas celebrated its grant recipients for the past year. Now, the grants fund projects is a wide range of charitable causes like children and youth activities, housing assistance, women's health, and many others.
We give grants for anything from childcare to tennis shoes to playground equipment, anything in between. There's so many needs of our Southeast Kansas group of people, and we have the money and we love being able to give it out.
You can learn more about grants available online on the Community Foundation of Southeast Kansas website. Well over 100 museum professionals from around Kansas are in Fort Scott for a 3-day gathering. The Gordon Parks Museum is hosting the 2024 Kansas Museums Association Conference, but activities are spilling over to other Fort Scott venues, including the Fort Scott National Historic Site, the Lowell Milken Center, and the Ellis Fine Arts Center. Conference attendees are touring various attractions and attending workshops on a wide range of topics and the latest trends in museums and preservation.
History, no matter what is happening in our world, that history is important to save, it's important to share, and it is important to understand, because history tells us a lot about the present. It tells us a lot about the mistakes we've made in the past, and hopefully it will guide us to make better decisions in the future.
For 55 years, the KMA Annual Conference has served as a focal point for its member institutions that range across the Sunflower State. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. Sea search and rescue operations continue in Spain after devastating floods left at least 217 people dead. Plus, Hurricane Rafael makes landfall in Cuba as a Category 3. We'll have the latest. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. Topping World Watch. Canada is kicking TikTok's business out of the country, but not off its phones. Canada ordered a dissolution of the social media site's business in the country, but its industry minister says the government will not block access to the app. Instead, the government warns all Canadians to practice good cybersecurity habits. The dissolution follows guidelines from the country's Investment Canada Act, which allows the government to review any business that could be harmful to its national security. TikTok says the shutdown will cause a loss of hundreds of local jobs, and it will challenge the order in court. Israeli missile strikes continue to rock Beirut, Lebanon. Several explosions were heard across the Lebanese capital Wednesday night. Thick smoke also filling the skyline. Lebanon's Civil Defense Service has not said if anyone has been hurt. Similar explosions on Tuesday leveled an apartment building, trapping dozens of people. Local officials say rescue workers pulled at least 30 bodies from the rubble. Fighting between Israel and Hezbollah has increased in recent months as tensions in the Middle East continue to rise over the war in Gaza. Recovery and rescue operations continue in Spain following historic flooding last week. Rescuers taking to the air and sea in Valencia, combing the coast for bodies 8 days after devastating floods left at least 217 people dead. The Guardia Civil Maritime Service of Valencia says that at this point, no bodies have been discovered. Spanish authorities also say 89 people have been confirmed missing. The floods, which are an annual occurrence during Spain in autumn, are said to have produced the most destructive flash floods in recent memory. Well, forecasters warn Hurricane Rafael could bring life-threatening storm surges, wind, and flooding as the hurricane made landfall in Cuba yesterday. Caroline Shively reports from Washington.
Hurricane Rafael intensifying into a powerful Category 3 storm Wednesday afternoon. The storm gained strength after moving across the Caribbean, causing high winds, flooding, and power outages in Jamaica and dumping rain on the Cayman Islands.
Conditions will gradually improve, but there's a likelihood of still some spiral bands producing some moderate to heavy showers over at least the next day or so.
From there, Rafael tracked north toward Cuba. On Tuesday, the State Department issued an advisory offering flights out of the island for U.S. citizens and warning other Americans to avoid travel there. Cuba is still struggling from another hurricane 2 weeks ago that killed half a dozen people.
Up to 12 inches of rainfall in portions of western Cuba through Thursday. Flash flooding and mudslides and landslides expected in areas of higher terrain.
The storm also sparked weather warnings for the Florida Keys, causing high waves and storm surge, ruining plans for some visitors.
Kayak and manatee, like snorkeling trip, but we no longer can do that due to the storm. So we are just going to go to the beaches and Hemingway House and different things.
Rafael is forecast to lose some of its strength as it moves through the Gulf of Mexico, but could still affect parts of Louisiana and Texas.
And that's a look at World Watch. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5:44 coming up on 5:45 on this Thursday morning. Fog tracker. The most dense fog we've had so far this morning has been around the Pittsburgh area, now creeping into parts of northern Cherokee County down toward Columbus, and then back up through Crawford County up toward Girard, and now stretching into parts of western Barton County as well. So just do keep that in mind. And we could see patchy dense fog across the area, similar to what we saw yesterday. But right now, we haven't seen anything quite as dense and as widespread as what we saw yesterday morning at this time. All right, future track into this afternoon. We're looking at mostly clear to partly cloudy skies. Northeast winds will be gusting 20-25 miles an hour, and our temperatures today will be at, or for some, maybe even a little below normal. Now, overnight, could get a few of those isolated showers or storms. Again, best chances are that Chanute, Fredonia, Yates Center section of the northwestern part of our area into southeast Kansas, but a sprinkle or two will be possible outside of that zone as well. But the actual rainfall, those chances are best over there in the morning. And we see a little pause, and then it doesn't take long before we start getting mid to late morning that additional showers and thunderstorms start rolling into the area on our Friday. Winds will still be gusty, but this time out of the east. And here's the thing. Again, this showed up the same way yesterday. The showers and storms on radar will be very likely lifting from south to north, but the boundary they're associated with is being pushed eastward. So gradually, they'll continue to roll east. So by about noon, there's Chanute, Parsons, down to Miami, Veneta for showers and storms. By 3, we're now Fort Scott, Pittsburgh, Joplin, Anderson, getting close to Lamar, and just exiting the Grove area. Now, the great news is we're not anticipating any severe weather. That is fantastic news. We don't need any of that right now, especially in November. But we will get showers and storms, and we could get some heavy amounts of rain here and there. So just keep an eye out for potential flash flooding, as the ground is still fairly saturated. We got hefty amounts of rain over the weekend and the start of this week. By Friday evening, again, scattered showers and storms continue. There might be some pauses by mid-evening Friday, and then another round of showers and storms will begin rolling in initially into southeast Kansas by 10, and then they'll start lifting off to the east northeast, and we'll have scattered storms overnight across a good portion of the region with little pauses here and there. And by about mid to late morning on Saturday, skies begin to clear, and we've got an absolutely beautiful day out there for us. Quick look at temperatures at 7th and Range Line. We're doing all right. 45 in Joplin. Feels like 41 with a northeast breeze at 7. Our temperatures this morning at or just a hair above normal as we go low, mid, and upper 40s across the area. So cooler up north, warmer down to the south. Get in the morning morning underway. Patchy fog will be possible through about 9 a.m. Mid-40s to start, mid-50s by 11 o'clock this morning with those partly cloudy skies. Average highs today are looking to be about 61. Some of you may be a degree or two warmer, some a degree or two cooler. May not make it out of the upper 50s. Low to mid-60s Friday, Saturday. Thunderstorms, of course, built into there. Nice Sunday for us. Above normal temperatures to start next week with another cold front Wednesday. It cools us way down, at least briefly, and brings us some additional thunderstorm chances. Let's check your forecast. We're back with more right after this.
Well, it seems it's never too early for Christmas movies, and this week alone sees a debut of a quartet of Yuletide films. David Daniel decks the halls in today's Hollywood Minute.
When James and I met, it was like magic, and we made a deal.
What if we meet next Christmas at the Pentatonics concert?
Shut up.
Christina Milian needs a holiday miracle to make her fairy tale romance come true in Meet Me Next Christmas. But is her prince the man waiting at the concert for her, or the handsome ticket concierge trying to get her there? Meet Me Next Christmas just dropped on Netflix.
Listen, if she wants Christmas in August, I'm gonna give it to her. And you two are gonna suck it up. Just do what everybody else does in the world. Fake the crap out of it.
A 10-year-old girl and her grandfather stage an early holiday to keep her parents from breaking up in A Sudden Case of Christmas. The family film, shot in Italy's Dolomite Mountains, debuts Thursday in select theaters and on digital platforms.
It's Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve.
An extended Italian family gathers for what could be their last Yuletide in their ancestral home in Christmas Eve in Millers Point. The ensemble comedy is in select theaters Friday.
We're going to be in your Bible play.
Herdman's in church.
Oh boy.
Judy Greer is a mom determined to make this the best Christmas pageant ever, even with the worst kids in town in leading roles. The best Christmas pageant ever, based on the popular novel, opens in theaters Friday. Feeling jolly in Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Well, a Mississippi couple's pet pit bull welcomed a new litter of puppies into the world last week. But one of the puppies doesn't look quite like the others. Let's just say it's quite colorful. Destiny Polster explains.
Perhaps it's a Google search that no pet owner ever expects to make.
Why one of my puppies that my American pet had green?
Anise Tooley and her boyfriend Greg are proud dog owners. Pearl and Harley are the names of their two American pit bulls who had a new litter of puppies on Sunday. The only oddity is the firstborn was a different color than the rest.
I thought it was blue. I thought it'd be like it was going to turn blue. It was like be gray later, like a blue color.
I didn't notice at first she was a different color. And then when she had another one, I'm like, that first one is like a different color.
Tooley's sudden internet expertise found stories of other colorful puppies. She says one born in Italy was named Pistachio and one in Ireland named Shamrock.
So we decided to name her Fiona after the Shrek movie, the female in Shrek.
The couple says they have seen research that shows Fiona should only be green for a couple of weeks. Because they already have 4 dogs, they plan to give Fiona and her siblings to other happy homes.
We'll be right back. Well, a western Massachusetts town gives up its decades-old glorious tree to grant holiday glory to the nation. West Stockbridge, Massachusetts will soon say goodbye to a Norway spruce that will become the Rockefeller Center Christmas tree. Tree workers are currently readying to bind it up in a process called court setting for its 140-mile journey to New York City. The tree is approximately 11 tons and was planted in a yard by homeowner Earl Albert in 1959. Fans from as far away as Denmark have traveled to watch the tree be taken down, and locals are coming to snap pictures of what will soon become a landmark memory. The tree begins its journey to Rockefeller Center on November 9th for its national lighting on December 4th. Well, today is a day to set aside to pay tribute to one of the world's most popular red wines. November 7th is celebrated as International Merlot Day. Merlot wine was first produced in Bordeaux, France, And the name is believed to have been derived from the French word for blackbird. That's because of the dark color of the grape that makes Merlot distinct. However, the versatile grape grows well in a variety of places worldwide. Besides France and California, there's good Merlot from South Africa, Australia, Canada, and even Chile. One way to celebrate the day, pop the cork and enjoy one of the many movies that feature the popular dry red wine.
Well, might not be a bad time to do it Friday night. Stay inside, be responsible, but it's going to be rainy. It's going to be cool. It'll be a good night to put on a sweater. Maybe sit by the fireplace if you've got one. If not, put one on the TV, whatever the case may be. This morning, though, patchy fog expected through about 9 a.m. Mid-40s to start, mid-50s by 11 o'clock this morning. Head into the afternoon. Average highs today, we're looking at about 61, but some of you, again, maybe a little warmer, a little cooler. Some folks may not make it much warmer than that. Breezy as well. Northeast winds gusting 20, 25 miles an hour. Partly cloudy through the evening. Clouds increasing late evening and overnight. Going mostly cloudy, still breezy. Northeast winds still gusting to about 20. Lows back into the 40s. As we head to our Friday, clouds, maybe a stray shower or storm in the morning, but then better chances late morning, afternoon, overnight, and into the first half of our Saturday. Skies will clear in the second half of our Saturday. Temps above normal to start next week. With another cold front with more storms next Wednesday. That's Check Your Forecast. We're back with more right after this.